Good morning, boys and girls. We're going to start our reading time. It's Wednesday, January 27th, and we're going to start with our Heggerty lesson, which is our listening lesson, and we're going to start with those rhyming words again. Today, my rhyme is ed. So if I think of a word that has ed for the rhyme, I might say bed. Let's break that apart into onset and rhyme. B-ed. Okay? Who can think of a word that begins with bed? Think in your head that has a rhyme like bed. What about the word fed? Ed. Fed and bed rhyme. Let's think of another word that has the ed rhyme. What about red? Ed. Fed, bed, red. Let's think of another word that has ed for our rhyme. What about lead? Ed. Bed, fed, red, lead. They all have ed for my rhyme. All right, let's think about our beginning sound. Okay? I sing. I. Apron. A. Okay. O. East. E. Use. U. Good job. All right, today we're going to blend some phonemes or some sounds and we're going to make them into a word. Okay, I'm going to put our boxes up here today. Okay. Ready? Here's my first word. Oob. Tube. Ave. Wave. Good. Kite. Kite. Eep. Deep. Rude. Rude. Ope. Hope. Fine. Fine. Cane. Cane. Luke. Luke. Coal. Good job. All right, I'm still going to use these boxes again, and we're going to think about the middle sound this time. Wide. I-d. What's the middle sound? I. Good job. Main. M-A-N. What's the middle sound? A. Pole. P-O-L. What's the middle sound? O. Excuse me. Tell me the sounds in tube. T. Ooh. B. What's the middle sound? Ooh. Tell me the sounds in might. I. Middle sound? I. Seam. S. E. Middle sound? E. Nail. N-A-L. A. Good job. Now you guys are going to use your fingers to tell me the sounds in the words. Ready? Robe. R-O-B. Bite. B-I-T. Fume. F-U-M. Gate. G-A-T. Mute. M-U-T. Name. N-A-M. Like. L-I-K. Maze. M-A-Z. Nice. N-I-S. Coat. K-O-T. Good job. All right, let's say ache. Add wa. Wake. Say add r. Room. Say ove, add k, cove. Say Ike, add b, bike. Say oon, add moon. Good job. Say cape. Say it without k, ape. Say goose. Say it without g, oose. Say nice. Say it without n, ice. Say boot. Say it without b, oot. Say robe. Say it without r, obe. Good job. Say nice. Change n to m, mice. Say mice. Change m to d, dice. Say dice. Change d to r, rice. Say rice. Change r to v, vice. Say vice. Change v to n, nice. Good job. All right, we're going to look at our letter packs again. Today we're going to move back to our capital and lowercase. We're going to say the letters and we're going to say their sounds. Okay, eyes on our screen. Ready, boys and girls? The letter is W. The sound is W. The letter is G. The sound is G. The letter is S. The sound is S. The letter is U. The sound is The letter is J. The sound is J. Make sure you're saying these with me. The letter is K. The sound is K. The letter is N. The sound is N. The letter is H. The sound is H. The letter is X. The sound is X. The letter is I. The sound is I. The letter is Y. The sound is Y. The letter is M. The sound is M. The letter is A. The sound is A. The letter is F. The sound is F. The letter is Q. The sound is Q. The letter is P. The sound is P. The letter is Z. The sound is Z. The letter is R. The sound is R. The letter is O. The sound is Ah. The letter is C. The sound is K. The letter is L. The sound is L. The letter is D. The sound is D. The letter is V. The sound is V. The letter is E. The sound is E. The letter is T. The sound is T. The letter is B. The sound is B. Good job, boys and girls. Let's think about our rhyme, our nursery rhyme. We've read a couple of the sentences. Let's repeat after Miss Smith. Little boy blue, come blow your horn. Little boy blue, come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow, the cow's in the corn. The sheep's in the meadow, the cow's in the corn. And we said horn and corn rhyme. Where's the little boy who looks after the sheep? Where's the little boy who looks after the sheep? Okay, tomorrow we'll build on that. Okay, this week we said that we are reviewing some letters that we've already learned. On Monday, we reviewed the letter B. Yesterday, we reviewed the vowel I. Today, we're going to review another kind of confusing letter sometimes, is the letter D. What sound does the letter D make? That's right, it makes the D sound. So today, we're going to go ahead and read my D sound box. And so we know that we're going to hear some words that begin with the D sound. Okay. Little D had a box. I will find things that begin with my D sound, she said. I will put them into my sound box. Little D found dolls. What sound does dolls begin with? D. Dolls. She found all kinds of dolls. One doll danced. All right, dance begins with D. One doll played a drum. Did little D put the dolls into her box? She did. But some dolls fell out. So little D said, I will turn this box into a dollhouse for the dolls and me. And she did. Little D made doll desk. Desk begins with D. And doll dressers. She put them into the dollhouse. She made a dining room with a table and dishes for the table. Little D made doll dresses. All kinds of doll dresses. Then she dressed her dolls and took them for a drive in the desert. Little D made some toys for her dolls. She made ducks for some dolls. She made dogs for some dolls. She put the ducks and dogs into the dollhouse. One day, a doll was sick, so she took the doll to a doctor. One day, a doll had a toothache. Little D took the doll to a dentist. One day, little D opened the door and found $1 and a dime. I will buy donuts for my dolls, she said. We will have donuts for dinner. She put a dozen donuts on the dining room table. Why did she need a dozen? All right, so lots of D words on here. Donuts, dish, dog, dolls, dining room, dresser, dresses, desk, ducks, lots of D words. Can you read these words with little d? All right, so a lot of these are words that begin with the D sound. Diamond, deer, domino, diary, daisy, doghouse, dwarf, dustpan, donkey, dove, dandelion, dinosaur. Lots of words, boys and girls, that begin with what sound? D. The sound our letter D makes. Good job. All right, we're going to look through our other letter cards and picture cards. We're going to be on the lookout for that letter D. We know our picture card is Dolphin D. So I'm going to mix up our cards just a little bit. Okay, ready? Motorcycle, M. Lemon, L. O. Nest, N. Umbrella, U. Dolphin, D. There's our picture for today. Helicopter, H. River, R. Watermelon, W. Goose, G. Fountain, F. Jaguar, J. Otter, O. ah. Fox, X, 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 x. Astronaut, A, A. Turtle, T, 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 t. Baby, B, 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 b. Koala bear, K, 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 k. Yo-yo, Y, y. Zigzag, Z, z. Cactus, C, k, k, k. Volcano, V, v. Escalator, E. Penguin, P, 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 p. Queen, Q, qu. Igloo, I. Salamander, S, s. Good job, boys and girls. All right, let's look at our sight words. We know these are words that we have to memorize. They do not follow our phonics rules, so that means we are not able to sound them out. Ready? Little, see, he, is, the, with, for, to, look, of, like, we, I, mine, have, you, a, am, me, they, she. Good job. All right, today, when we are finished with our worksheet in just a few minutes, Miss Smith's going to put up another decodable reader for you guys to read to your mom or your dad. And so this is one we've actually read before. We read it when we talked about the letter D previously. And so Miss Smith is going to practice sounding out some words with you, and you're going to see these words again in this book. So let's put our eyes up here. We're going to practice sounding out some words, and we're going to practice spelling some of them as well. Okay, my first word is a name, so I have to start it with a capital letter. Ready? D. Add. Dad. Dad. And if you'll notice, this word had a D at the beginning and at the end of the word. Okay, here's our next word. Ready? Let's sound it out. D. Id. Did. Did. I see D's again at the beginning and the end. Okay. Here's our next word. Ready? Id. Kid. Kid. Good job. Where do we see the D this time? That's right, at the end of the word. Okay, this next word only has 2 letters in it. Ready? Let's sound it out. At. At. Good job. All right, we're going to spell some words. Let's spell the word rat. Tell me the sounds you hear in rat. R, at. Good job. The first sound we hear is R. What makes the R sound? R. Rat. R, ah. What makes the ah sound? A. Rat. R, at. What makes the t sound? T. Good job. R, at. Rat. Okay, we're going to spell another word. This one's going to have 2 sounds. Tell me the sounds we hear in it. It. I. What makes the I sound? I. It. It. What makes the t sound? T. Good job. It. It. We're going to spell one more word. And like I said, these are going to be words you're going to see in this book in just a little bit. Okay? Tell me the sounds we hear in cat. K, at. The first sound is k. What letter is that? C. Cat. K, a. What makes the a sound? A. Cat. K, at. What makes the t sound? T. Sound it out. K, at. Cat. Good job, boys and girls. Okay, boys and girls, since we are reviewing the letter D today, we're going to look up here at our letter D on our game. And you guys have played these games during center time each year. But parents, this game is the Starfall game again. And this area of Starfall, goodness, is free. So you can go to the letters to review them. And we are reviewing the letter D. So let's click on our D.
D. D.
All right. Our D, our capital D, is a frog jump letter. So we have a big line down. We frog jump it to the top and a big curve. Lowercase d and B are confusing. B has a big belly. D has a dirty diaper. Okay? Lowercase d is a magic C letter. You start out with a magic C. You go up like a helicopter and back down. D makes the D. D.
D.
This is a doll.
D. Doll. Dancing doll.
Okay, we have ducks.
Ducks.
This is a dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Good job.
Make a match.
All right, so this is a matching game. So we have to use our memory.
Q.
There's our Q. Those two didn't match. Oh, made a match. Rainbow.
Rainbow.
C. And a W.
Q.
Up and a
Q.
Q. Cool.
Q. Question.
Oh, I think that's where my W was. Web.
Web.
Oh, that's the letter S. Let's try this one. That's the letter T. Oh, there's our S.
Snake.
And I think our train and T were there.
Train.
Okay, and our last letter we said was C. C makes the k sound.
Cat. Dinosaur dance. It's dinosaur dance. Come hop, skip, jump, and prance. T-Rex long neck and you. Trees, leaves, and flowers too. So wiggle your fingers and nose. And shake your feet and toes. Let's hop, skip, jump, and prance. It's a dinosaur dance. It's dinosaur dance. Come hop, skip, jump, and prance. T-Rex long neck and you. Trees, leaves, and flowers too. So wiggle your fingers and nose. And shake your feet and toes.
Starfall. And you guys can go find that on your Chromebooks. Okay, boys and girls, we said that we're reviewing our letter D. We just looked at D on Starfall. And today for our worksheet, we're going to have a sorting page. And we know that we've studied in math before that when we sort things, that means we put them into groups by how they are alike or are the same. At the top, I want you to write your first and your last name. And while you're doing that, I'm going to cut right here on this dotted line. Okay, and you will notice that on our worksheet, we have a side that has a capital D and a lowercase d. We just said on our Starfall game that capital D is a frog jump letter. It's a big line down, frog jump, big curve. Lowercase d is a magic C letter. Magic C, go up like a helicopter and back down. So all we're going to do today is cut them out and sort them between capital D and lowercase d. So let's look at my first one that I'm going to cut out. We know our scissors are our car and our lines are our road that guide us for cutting. Okay, this first one, is this a capital D or a lowercase d? This is a lowercase d. So we're going to put it over here on this side. Okay, cutting out my next D. Okay, this is a capital D, so it's going to go on this side. Sorting our capital and lowercase letters. All right, here is our next one. We've got a lowercase d. Good job. Next, cutting again. We have another lowercase d. Cutting on our dotted line. Okay, is this a capital or a lowercase d? This one is a capital or uppercase D. Sometimes we say uppercase and sometimes we might say capital. Okay, our next letter. Capital or lowercase? Capital. Okay. Next letter D. Let's see, is this one a capital or lowercase? Lowercase. Okay. And our last letter D. Which side does it go on? Capital or lowercase? On the lowercase side. Very good. We have 4 capital D's and 4 lowercase d's. All right, let's turn our papers over on the back. Let's do a little bit of spelling practice together, just like we do in the mornings on the board, and Miss Smith has been doing it on my dry erase boards with you guys. I want you to draw me 3 lines, just like Miss Smith does on the board. All right, let's spell a word together. Let's spell the word dip. Tell me the sounds in dip. D, I, P. Boys and girls, the first sound is D. What letter makes the D sound? D. We're going to write this with a lowercase d. Magic C, fly up like a helicopter and back down. Dip. D. I. What makes the I sound? I. Let's write the letter I. Dip. D. I. P. What makes the P sound? P. Good job. Very good. Dip. Dip. Let's do one more. Draw 3 more lines. Okay, this time I want us to write the word dot. Tell me the sounds in dot. D, I, t, dot. The first sound is D. We're going to write this with a lowercase d. Magic C, up like a helicopter and back down. D, ah. What makes the ah sound? O. Dot. D. I. T. What makes the t sound? T. Good job. D. I. T. Dot. Very good, boys and girls. All right, I told you guys at the beginning of the video that you were going to see a decodable reader. We have read this before together during centers. You've already seen this book before. I'm going to zoom in like I have on the other days. Miss Smith is not going to sound out these words for you. I want you to take your pointer finger. You can point to the screen gently, and I want you to read this book to your mom or your dad. So I'm going to open it up. We're starting on page 2, and Miss Smith is going to point, just like you are. Some of these are sight words, and we will not sound them out. Ready? Good job. All right, and boys and girls, don't forget that this week for homework, you also have letter naming practice. It looks like this. Mom and Dad, just set the timer for a minute. You can use the timer on your phone or your microwave or whatever timer, and you need to read those letters, boys and girls, pointing just like we do each day. And parents, they do have to read 46 letters in a minute by May. So it is something that needs to be practiced at home each night. And then, boys and girls, instead of a word list this week, you have a sentence list. Remember, the underlined words are sight words, and the other words are words that we need to be able to sound out. Parents, if your child is having trouble sounding out words, it is very important to practice each night. This is a skill they must have in order to go on to first grade. So just a reminder that it needs to be practiced each night.